Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, I didn't know Left Hand Brewing Company made this many beers, but we're gonna look at their dry Irish Stout, and this is a Nitro, and it is coming in at 4.3% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome to the Day Beer Review. And today, like I said in the intro, I had no idea that Left Hand Brewing Company made this many types of beer. We just had Wake Up Dead, and now we're looking at the dry Irish Stout. And this is a Nitro by Left Hand, so I'm really excited about that. It's coming in at 4.3% ABV, so a very friendly beer from an alcohol content point of view. Cracked it open, heard the widget. Give it a second, and let's pour it. Now, okay, it's clearly not a Guinness that I'm going to be pouring into this glass, okay? And in fact, I'm gonna pick a slightly different Guinness. Actually, you know what? Wait a second. Here we go. I'll use my favorite California glass. All right, so, which by the way, I bought this at, what was it? Big Sur State Park. Really beautiful if you get a chance to check it out. Love this glass, love the colors. Actually, it matches the, oh, I like that a lot. All right, let's give it a pour. And you know, what is it? Left Hand always says you can pour hard, and you can, because it is a Nitro Stout. And you're not gonna go over the rim generally because the nitrogen is just such a gentle type of gas when it comes through. All right, so nice little bit of head there. This is not a Guinness, so you're talking about like maybe a middle finger, forgive me folks at home, of head there. Ooh, this smells wonderful. It's coffee, it's chocolate, it's a little bit of dry, sort of like roastiness on the back end. Almost like on this, like, have you ever walked into a room where there was once coffee? You know, there doesn't have to be coffee there now, but coffee beans were once there. I'm getting that sort of like hint of like phantom coffee in the background. And again, a nice creamy head on this. Let's give it a taste. Actually, no. The nose is nice. All right, I gotta give it a taste. So again, I'm getting a coffee, that roast, that chocolate. It's got a brilliant, like, and by brilliant, I mean bright type of nose. That's wonderful. Creamy in the mouth. In fact, almost like vanilla milkshake, creamy, if you will. No, almost like the froth in milk when you blow bubbles in it. Like that's how creamy. Nah, that's not it either. Fuck. I guess the best way I could put it is when I was in Ireland, I had an Irish coffee, and so it was cream, it was whiskey, and it was coffee. And the cream that they used was fresh. And this sort of has that consistency, that fresh cream consistency. As far as the flavor goes, coffee, chocolate, little bit of bitterness on the back of the tongue, but this is beautiful. I mean, it drinks so easy. In fact, if someone had told me this was a non-alcoholic beer, I would actually believe it was a non-alcoholic beer because it just goes down so nice and easy. Think of Guinness, you know, like you get a Guinness in a can in New York and it's good, but if I could get this in a can, I would get this instead. It has that deeper, sort of richer flavor. I like Guinness a lot, but like there are other ones on there, like the Murphy's Irish Stout, Murphy's Nitro Stout, I think it is, I think is better. And quite honestly, this for a dry Irish Stout is awesome. I really like it a lot. And you know, it has this wonderful coffee flavor that lingers after you drink it. And the nitrogen is not the same as carbon dioxide, which, I mean, we all know that, but it's such a difference in mouthfeel. You know, like carbon dioxide is just such a rough sort of gas in the mouth when you wind up like feeling like the way the bubbles break. Whereas this is not that way. The bubbles are so small. Now, 4.3% alcohol, so a tenth of a point more ABV than a Guinness. I think this is wonderful. Would I buy Left Hand Brewing Company's dry Irish Stout again? in a heartbeat. And you know, it's $5. The price is still on this can at $4.99 because I bought it as a single. Is this one that I would buy again? In a heartbeat. Quite honestly, I have yet to come across anything that Left Hand has put out. And I will admit, I've tried 3 of their things. I tried their Wake Up Dead Imperial Stout, their Dry Irish Stout, and their Average Nitro Stout. And I've never had a bad beer from them. Now, they might have put out other stuff I haven't tried yet, but so far I am 3 for 3 with Left Hand Brewing Company. And I have to say, I think they make an exceptionally good beer. So would I try their Dry Irish Stout? Absolutely. If you're looking for a low ABV beer that, you know, you can drink and enjoy with a meal and not have to worry about the ABV, this is fantastic. It really is fantastic. And I have to say, like, Left Hand Brewing Company just continues to come out with good, solid beers. Anyway, folks, I hope you have enjoyed this review. I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna drink the rest of this one, and I will see you next time on End of the Day Beer Review. Cheers. That is very good. You know, it's funny, I do like, and you know, like maybe this will be on, maybe it won't. I know the channel has a lot of higher ABV beers on it. There's something to be said for a non-alcoholic beer or a beer of very low ABV that you can indulge in and not have to worry about suddenly realizing you had too much to drink. So like, this is one of those very, very approachable. Now, I also think Guinness non-alcoholic is also a good approachable beer, although there is a weird aftertaste there. I have to do one of those for this. But you know, like, it's funny. I'm not a huge IPA guy, but these stouts are really good. And the older I get and the less I'm looking for the intoxicating influences of alcohol and more for the flavor, the more the Dry Irish Stout has sort of come out to me as this fantastic beer that you can have and enjoy and not have to worry about if you've had 1 or 2 that you're gonna do something stupid. Now, again, my policy is if I'm drinking at all, I don't drive, but you know what I mean. We've all seen those people who get, you know, ridiculous at gatherings. So like, this is a good one where if you're gonna have a couple beers, this is one I would check out. All right, folks, I'll see you next time. Cheers.